twisted minds unique.
Ready, Freddy?
Jinx.
Fuck you.
Hope you're recording that. That was funny.
What is up, all you Slashaholics? I'm Slash Sister Hallie, and I want to welcome you to Slash Sisters.
And I am Slash Sister Jenny, and we want to welcome you back to the channel for your favorite channel for horror movie reviews by true horror movie fans.
I can't fucking see you. I gotta.
You can't see me. We need to move him.
I gotta move him up just a little bit so I can see.
Get out of here, Freddy. We like to look at each other when we're recording.
And
mostly because we talk to each other through the video too.
I honestly
hope y'all like the banter. If you don't, sorry, not gonna stop.
If not, why you're watching us?
Yeah.
But hey, if this is your first time here, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything that we got going on and all the fun horror things that we do here on this channel.
Well, today we are back at it again, conquering our mountain of horror movie sequels. And at the top of today's little hill is A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
Which we've kind of already, like, slightly talked about.
Because, yeah, a little bit. We did our rankings, so we talked about it a little bit then.
We did that,
but also...
I'm thinking back to It Chapter 2. Or maybe it was 1, I can't remember. The kids walk past a theater, and this is the film that's playing at that particular point in time. Because it's supposed to be 1989.
You know, I couldn't help myself the whole time that I was watching this to be reminded of the two kids in Evil Dead Rise, the two kids that, like, come to ask the other kids if they want to come and watch a Freddy night. They're like they're gonna watch all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, even the crappy ones. And the other kid goes, "There are no crappy ones." And I was thinking to myself as I was watching this, are there no crappy ones? Are there? We'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
So, with lots more absurd one-liners.
Over the top one-liners.
A lot more. And what I can only... I mean, the only time that someone other than Robert Englund, which you can tell this is Robert Englund, but in this movie, someone other than him dons the Freddy glove and is Freddy.
Not the only time.
The first time. First time in the franchise. Sorry. Not the only time. It's the first time so far in the franchise.
No. In Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and I'm not talking about Jesse, but there was actually another person cast that actually made it to the final product. And they had to replace him because he did not behave like Robert Englund. It's one scene
Is there
specifically.
a scene that he's in?
There's one scene specifically, it is the shower scene, where he's like walking slowly, lumbering towards the fucking camera in the shower. You can tell it's not Robert Englund.
Okay.
He's in a shadow, you can't see the face, but you can tell it's not Robert Englund.
That person was probably never billed, I
Nope.
assume.
No, he was never billed. He was never given any type of credit because they saw the dailies and realized
that ain't gonna work.
No, this isn't like your standard slasher. We have to have Robert Englund back because he talks and he has a certain way that he moves that nobody else could mimic at the time, at least.
For sure. The first time for sure that another actor was credited as Freddy.
Okay.
So we'll give it that. But yeah, this movie definitely goes off the rails in more ways than one. Though.
Okay, definitely. So why don't we just go ahead and see this conclusion of the Dream trilogy, shall we?
Yeah, I think we should. We start our movie off in what I can only describe as something ripped straight out of a soft pour corn.
Soft pour corn?
Yeah, that's what it is, right? Okay. But yeah, straight up, just like sweaty bodies writhing in the darkness. I mean, they're like blue colored because it's dark, you know.
Or it's supposed to be dark. Because 9 times out of 10, they shot day for night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And just added either put a filter on the lens of the camera or edited it in post.
Yeah, because I don't think they're going to have two teenagers. Well, they're not teenagers. The actual actors aren't, but...
It's Alice, the survivor from the last movie, and her new boyfriend, Dan. Yes, that's right. They actually hooked up. Which they alluded to at the end of the last one, to be fair.
For sure.
Who also survived the last movie. We last saw them walking away from a fountain after Alice caught a glimpse of Freddy in the reflection of the pool.
And then she kind of shook it off,
Yeah.
right? And Dan was like, you didn't see anything.
No.
Look away, look away. Well, now these high school seniors are getting all hot and steamy together. But while taking a shower after their steamy scene, it fills up completely. Alice is taking a shower. The water fills the shower up completely. She pushes her way out and into the dream world. These dream world rules get real weird in this one. I mean, they've always been a little wonky.
Well, so the only reason, and we'll get
into the reason that the rules are allowed to be wonky, I guess. But
when we do, I want to retouch on this scene. So
yes, okay.
Because I've got questions
because of this scene.
I've got questions.
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Alice has a vision of herself dressed in, of all things, a nun's habit.
I've been in one of those before.
What are nuns' habits? Praying to God.
It's the costume. That
no,
they wear.
I know.
It's not a costume. It's
their
vestments. I guess they're called. Yeah. Their religious garb.
Look at you trying to work ghosts into this episode.
I'm working them into the next one too.
Oh, fuck you. But she's wearing a nurse's habit with the name tag saying Amanda Krueger. I wonder if that's why Amanda Anderson loves this series so much.
Oh, could be. Could be. Amanda's the mother of Krueger. Oof. I wouldn't want that to happen to our Amanda. Not our Amanda. We love her so much.
She's too sweet.
She is. I never want something awful
Nope.
like that to happen to her.
Absolutely not.
Alice is inside of a strange asylum and is then attacked by the patients at the hospital, which wakes her up, and she is now back in bed with Dan.
I do wonder though that the scene in the shower with like the tub filling up,
Mm-hmm.
that was supposed to be a nod to like Krueger's love coming up out of the water in Nancy's
For
bathtub
sure.
in the first
Yeah,
one.
for sure.
The next day, Alice is graduating from high school. Yep, that's right. She was a senior.
Mm-hmm.
Alongside her new friends.
Blow this pop stand!
Since all of her friends in the last one died except for Dan. So
we gotta replace them.
Are we led to believe that in literally like the span of like a year,
Yeah.
she got a whole new group of friends?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, that's what... According to Wikipedia, it takes place exactly 1 year later.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what
Horror
I found in my
movie logic.
research. Yeah. Hello.
I know. No, that's why I say
80s horror movie logic.
Right. Yeah, this is 89.
Yeah, I was going to say, this was the very tail end.
Right.
Because I think Freddy's Dead is in 1990 or 91.
90 or 91,
Yeah.
I think.
So, her new friends include Greta, an aspiring supermodel.
Is she
I don't think
aspiring?
she's really aspiring. I
I was
think
like,
her
her
mom
mom
is aspiring,
forced- right.
making her aspire. Yeah, with a super overbearing mother. Mark, who is a comic book fan.
Actually, he's a comic book artist.
Yes,
He's created
he's
his
a
own
pretty
character.
good artist, actually. With some pretty sick hair. And Yvonne, who is on the swim team and volunteers at the hospital. Because, let's just throw a bunch of character traits on a board and hopefully one of them sticks.
Gotta make sure they all have very distinct character traits so that we can tell the difference between them and the last group of friends who are basically the same people.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah, I would say that Mark's kind of like her older brother.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yvonne's definitely like
the nerdy girl.
the nerdy asthmatic girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is definitely like
the girl that gets turned into a cockroach.
Yeah.
Can't remember their names, but you remember them by how they die and their characteristics. That's all that you need to remember.
Pretty much.
We'll remember their names through this video because they're in front of us, but I don't remember their names from a month ago when we were...
Yeah, that's about a month ago.
Literally. I remember Alice. That's it. And Dan, because they survived.
And Dan's name is actually his name in real life.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, so in the last one, they didn't bother giving him a character name, so they
were just like, hey, Dan.
Yeah, pretty much.
Makes sense. Alice tells Dan about her nightmare where she was Amanda Krueger. But he tells her that she is in control of her dreams.
I mean, she's the dream master, so yeah she's in control of her dreams, right?
True. Right.
On her way back to work, she sees the jump rope kids that are prevalent throughout the entire franchise.
Mm-hmm. If there's one thing that carries over, it's them and Freddy.
7, 8, better stay up late.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because the rules constantly change and evolve. And we are officially back in Dreamland while she was seemingly awake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so she follows one of the jump rope kids and ends up seeing Amanda, like, off in the distance and begins to follow her back to the asylum. And there she sees the scene where Amanda is giving birth to a gruesomely deformed baby. This fucking thing.
That is no creature of God!
This fucking thing.
The gross baby full-on charges at Alice. Yeah.
Like, runs at her.
Yeah. Who follows it and winds up in the church where she defeated Freddy in the last film.
Yeah. So we're in Dream World, but we're back in that, like, that church with all the colored glass and everything. And
I don't remember. Did they ever say the name of the sanitarium in this film?
I
don't think it's Weston Hills.
No, I don't think it's Weston Hills either. No, I don't think they do. I don't think they actually reference the name. If they do, we'll correct ourselves down here or something. I don't think they do, though. Yeah. So, the baby finds Freddy's remains inside the church.
Which is basically his sweater, glove, fedora, and pants.
And, like, climbs into it, basically. And quickly turns into an adult, and Freddy's back!
It's a boy!
How? I don't know. Last movie came back because of dog flaming piss. I don't know. What is this franchise? I don't know. Anyways, hinting to Alice that he has found the key to coming back because he comes around in the dream space and rubs on her belly.
She gets away after Amanda shows up and starts telling Freddy how she is going to defeat him and is now magically back in the diner that she works at.
Yeah,
Alice is back.
Alice is, yeah. Yeah, she just, like, suddenly walks into the diner.
So you were asking what this franchise is? It's Robert Shea making money.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It really is. It's the house that Freddy built.
I mean, New Line is the house that Freddy built, but Robert Shea bankrupted.
Mm-hmm.
And he milked this franchise for everything it was fucking worth.
Sorry, Bob. We're not trash talking you. A little. Anyways, she calls out to Dan. So she's back in the diner that she works at. And so she calls Dan, who is at the pool, because Yvonne has the keys to the pool because she's a swim star.
Because she was the last one to leave from practice that night, so they decided to have a party at the pool.
Yeah. So Alice calls Dan at the pool and tells him about her dream and about what happened. And he leaves to go to Alice.
He must have dreamt himself up. I don't know.
But on his way, he gets a little tired on his drive to see Alice. And he falls asleep behind the wheel.
Freddy attacks Dan, causing him to drive into oncoming traffic, but after flying through the windshield...
Put your pedal to the metal, Dan!
He lands in a swimming pool. He runs back out...
Back here, Dan!
To his seemingly unaffected truck...
His dreams, man.
Pulls the motorcycle down from the back, and he decides to take that instead of his truck.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, where'd the motorcycle come from? Who cares? It's dreams.
No, the motorcycle was actually strapped in the bed of the truck.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Originally? Okay. Alright. Well,
the entire time it was there. You just you don't notice it because they never acknowledge
like,
it
make
prior.
a point.
Yeah.
Okay. So Freddy then takes this opportunity to turn him into a motorcycle human hybrid, like if this is fucking Tetsuo the Iron Man or something. I don't know, but he turns into a motorcycle.
And all the while, Freddy's quipping,
This boy feels the need for speed!
shifting gears, high octane, all this stupid shit that's
being
car related.
absurd, because that's what this movie is.
Hey, Danny, better not dream and drive.
But he forces him into oncoming traffic, but in real life, his truck hits like a semi, sort of. I don't know, is it a semi? But Alice sees this in a vision seconds before it happens, but then it actually happens right outside the diner. So she walks out and sees the carnage.
Alice, wanna make babies?
And immediately passes out.
Waking in a hospital bed, she hears the news of Dan's death, but she also finds out that dun dun dun, she's pregnant with Dan's baby.
I mean, Freddy kind of already told her that, but
yeah, no, he
now
alluded
it's official.
to it. So now back to that earlier point after the soft pork corn.
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
Are we led to believe that she was pregnant at that very instant?
I think so. I mean, that's that. My thought is that was conception night.
Okay.
And then immediately he's able to reach her in dream world.
Okay, so I mean, babies do dream in the womb. Okay.
Yeah, but not at conception. They don't have. They're literally two cells at that point.
Well, I
mean, they start rapidly producing, but like at conception, like that shit's not.
No, there's no mind. There's no mind for the baby to dream. Exactly. That's what I have a problem with.
Yeah. I think that's what they're trying to say, was that like conception. From that moment on, Freddy was able to get in. Don't work like that. Anyways, so while she's at the hospital during the night, she is visited by a young boy named Jacob. But the next day, when she's telling Yvonne about Jacob, she tells her that there are no children on the floor. In fact, there's not even a children ward at the hospital. Weird. Who's this kid?
Alice gathers her friends and tells them that Freddy tells them all the Freddy backstory, which by now we have all heard 4 times before.
4 times.
Because we're on 5. So.
Yeah. We've all heard it, but I guess her friends haven't heard it.
They live in fucking Springwood.
That's what I'm saying.
They live in Springwood, and like her friend.
I mean, literally, like, that's my next line in the script, is like, Yvonne refuses to listen because apparently all these people weren't around 1 year ago. And even though they've been friends with Alice, they don't know, she's never talked about it before. This whole life-changing experience that she had.
To be fair, would you be talking about shit that haunted you for years?
No.
Exactly.
But it's only been 1 year. And they're good friends with her.
Apparently not that good.
Yeah, clearly. Anyways, where did this new group of friends come from anyways? They just like fucking... Yep. Like I said, they threw things at a board and they were like, that works.
Which is
new characters.
Basically the same characters from the
last
film.
Fodder. Hand knife.
Glove fodder.
Glove fodder. Literally.
No glove. No love.
Oh, another one. Anyways.
Mark and Greta are more supportive, at least entertaining the idea that Freddy could have been real at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're at least accepting. I don't know what Yvonne's fucking deal is. That afternoon at a dinner party at her home, Greta falls asleep at the table. She dreams of herself snapping at her mother and ranting about her controlling nature.
Freddy arrives and straps her into the grossest fucking high chair imaginable.
Yeah, it's like a flesh chair. Kind of nasty.
Then force feeds her
Bon appetit, bitch.
with what turns out to be her own organs.
Yeah.
Saying,
You are what you eat.
Oh, this fucking movie! Greta tries to reach out to Alice by coming through her fridge as Alice opens the fridge door.
I do have to. I really like that claymation like evolve of the food
Oh,
like rotting.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
kinda
that is
cool.
really cool when she opens up her fridge and all the food starts rotting.
Right.
Agreed. There are some really cool things that happen in this really shitty movie. Sorry, not to like ruin my bloody machete or anything like that, but there's some cool things that happen in this movie. There's some interesting little tidbits.
Mm-hmm.
In the real world, though, Alice. Oh, sorry. Let me back up. Greta tries to reach out to Alice in the real world,
Coming through the fridge.
coming through the fridge. But Alice, though she sees her friend, Freddy literally reaches through the fridge and grabs her back and pulls her back into the dream world and chokes her to death in front of a laughing crowd. Like, the crowd laughs as he's choking her to death.
Mm-hmm. In the real world, Greta falls down dead in front of her own mother and their guests.
Yep. I mean, it appears that she's, like, choked on some food or something. Yvonne and Alice then visit Mark. Where does Mark live? In a fucking warehouse or something?
Yeah,
like,
basically.
Honestly, okay. Mark lives in a warehouse. Anyways, they go to the warehouse to visit Mark, who is grieving pretty heavily from Greta. Apparently, they must have been either really close or dating. It's never exclusive.
He was madly in love with her, and she was not able to be with him because of appearances.
Yeah. While they are there, though, Mark falls asleep and is nearly killed by Freddy.
Alice saves him before seeing Jacob yet again. Jacob hints that Alice is her mother. Is his mother.
Yeah. Basically, he's like, "Why don't you love me?" Essentially. And she's like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean? Of course I love you. Like, of course I care for you." And he's like, "No, you don't." It's like, wait, what? Anyways, so Alice requests that Yvonne get her an early ultrasound. Because Yvonne, who volunteers at the hospital, can somehow...
Apparently has that kind of sway, right.
Yeah. Maybe in the late 80s.
Do unborn babies dream?
Anyways, she gets this ultrasound and discovers... That's true. But they discovered that Freddy is using the baby in her belly to attack her friends, even when she is awake, because babies spend nearly 75% of their time dreaming.
Feeding time, soul food for my boy.
Okay. So this is how Freddy has been getting to everyone while Alice is still awake, and why she keeps getting pulled into everyone's dreams. Although, to be fair, didn't she inherit Kristen's power was to pull people into their dreams?
Yeah, but she was, I think, able to pull other people into her dreams, which was Kristen's power, right? Like, she inherited Kristen's power.
Okay.
They've never been able to, like, just get pulled into dreams while they're awake.
Okay.
Until now, because the baby's sleeping, so he's pulling the baby into the dream world, which pulls Alice too, because they're attached.
Okay.
This fucking movie, you guys. Freddy has also apparently been feeding baby Jacob his victims to make him like Freddy, to make Jacob like Freddy, and to then have another way to come back into the real world.
What? After she leaves the hospital, the doctor calls Dan's parents and tells them that Alice, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And
apparently Yvonne does too. Like, gives them a call and is like, "Yo, Alice cray."
Not like that. But basically tells Dan's parents that they should try to adopt Alice's unborn child.
And then they do that. They try to do that. They go to Alice's house, and Dan's parents insist that she give them her baby.
By insisting that they have rights. While yes, grandparents do have rights, they do
But
not
it
have
ain't
that
that.
kind of rights. Trust me, I know.
And grandparents' rights are...
It's just rights to see them. It's not rights to have them.
see them. That is
Yeah.
it. And really, those rights to see them are only if they've been a part of the child's life to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there has to be a reason. And
I do like the fact that Alice's recovering alcoholic father actually stands up for her.
dude,
Because
he does. And by
because
the
he,
end
he
of
was
this
an
movie, I am
asshat in
like,
the first
oh,
one.
I know.
Or in the previous one.
In the,
not
yeah.
first, in the previous one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was an asshat then. He's actually, like, redeemed himself quite a bit.
Yeah, because, like, in 4, he was like, where are you going dressed like that? Like a slut.
And she had
on like a long
maxi skirt.
dress and like a button-down
Cardigan.
sweater.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what is your problem? But yeah, in this movie, he's a lot better. In fact, by the end, I'm like, oh, Grandpa, you're so cute. He's so happy and cute.
Back at Mark's warehouse.
Yeah.
Warehouse. Is that like a house that's been turned into like a were creature?
W-E-R-E house? I want a warehouse. Goals.
Sorry.
Hashtag goals.
Off tangent. Back at Mark's warehouse, Alice and Mark research Krueger and the nun, Amanda. Actually, Mark had been doing a shit ton of research
while they were
on his own.
Right. So they find out that Amanda actually hanged herself after Freddy's trial. Basically, after Freddy got away with everything, she killed herself. And the whereabouts of her body are unknown. And so, okay, so if there's a headstone, you know, even Alice says, but I've seen her headstone. There's not a body there, apparently. Now, Amanda was a Catholic nun. According to Catholic dogma,
that if you unalive
yourself,
you go straight to hell.
Correct. And your soul, or according to this movie, your soul resides on Earth.
Purgatory.
In purgatory.
Yeah.
So Amanda is not at rest.
Yeah. Because unfinished business, which actually is a thing.
Yeah.
Realizing Amanda was trying to stop Freddy, they investigate her whereabouts and Alice goes to sleep, hoping to find Amanda at the asylum.
Yeah, basically she's like,
The
Mark, stay
still
awake.
unnamed asylum.
Yeah. I love how it always happens this way too. It's always like, Mark, stay awake. And then they always end up falling asleep. Every time. Never fails.
Well, I mean, to me personally, I wouldn't have tried to stay awake by reading
Yeah.
in a quiet room.
In the dark.
I would have put some type of music
Like
on.
loud
or something.
music. Fuck you trying to sleep. You stay in your sleep.
Right.
Put something over your head or whatever.
Right, exactly.
I'm trying to stay awake to keep you alive.
Right. But no.
But staying awake to keep you alive is, you know what Glenn does is, he like lays on his bed and
he falls asleep,
watches TV.
watching the TV in his lap with his headphones on from his stereo, and yet still manages to fucking fall asleep.
True.
So, I guess they did try it once.
They did try. But he was laying down.
Yeah.
He should have been up, moving,
Yeah,
trying to keep himself alive.
Exactly.
These idiots. Yeah. But, yeah, so there's a grave, but her body's not there.
Yeah.
While there, at the... Wait.
Sorry. I said realizing Amanda was trying to stop.
Okay. So, while at the asylum...
In Dreamland.
In Dreamland, Freddy lures Alice away by threatening Yvonne. Yvonne had gone back to the pool, even though everybody else was gone. Everybody else had left, but she was at the pool by herself, and she falls asleep in the jacuzzi. Like, she gets in the jacuzzi and falls asleep.
She actually dunks herself in the fucking jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Which,
and then
okay.
she comes back out, and she's in Dreamland.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she ends up climbing up to the high dive and goes to dive and dives into garbage.
that actually high dive turns into like Freddy's hand or whatever.
Yeah, and I remember when I was watching it, okay, yeah, it's Freddy's hand, but it also reminds me of like, stop me if I'm wrong, but in Evil Dead 2.
Oh, no, yeah, totally. No, I didn't, the bridge.
Yes,
The bridge scene,
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which, to be fair, Wes Craven and Sam Raimi kind of did a back and forth for a little bit on the earlier films.
For sure.
Alice somehow actually rescues Yvonne, who now finally fucking believes her.
Yeah, now that she's finally had her own experience with Freddy, she believes.
Seeing is believing, y'all.
These bitches.
Bitches
Mark,
be bitchin'.
He's scared to come in because of Amanda. We have to find Amanda.
Who has fallen asleep, gets pulled back into dreamland because he was already there once.
It's not dreamland. It's Aha. It's Aha.
Yeah, it is. Take on Me, for sure. It's comic book world, really. Where after being taunted by Freddy...
Super Freddy.
No, not quite yet.
Oh, that's right.
He becomes a superhero first to fight Freddy.
Yeah, his
and
superhero counterpart.
And then we get Super Freddy.
Time to die, you scar-faced limp dick!
Which is the person that you're talking about playing Freddy. That.
Yeah, I even researched his name.
It's Super Freddy!
Usually we do this thing where we're like, down here. I actually looked it up this time.
Freddy turns into a supervillain faster than 1,000 Maniacs or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I don't know, whatever. And for the first time on screen, we see someone other than Robert Englund as Freddy, as Jenny has so eloquently alluded to.
Yes. This version of Freddy, aka Super Freddy, as Hallie just pointed out, is played by Michael Bailey Smith, who actually also plays Pluto in the 2006 remake of The Hills Have Eyes, which was originally directed by Wes Craven. So, weird little, horror world.
It's the horror world.
It's the horror world.
Super Freddy then transforms Mark into paper and cuts him out.
Yep, just slashes him into pieces.
Actually, no, he doesn't even slash him
Oh,
into
yeah,
pieces. He
does,
takes a swipe out of him, drains all the color out of him, and he falls dead. Yep.
So then Alice goes to bed again to go and find Freddy and save her son this time.
Yep. And now we are treated to the weirdest fucking labyrinth scene that even the labyrinth couldn't even fucking do.
I know, like MC Escher would have had a hard time drawing this fucking thing. It's a mess. They're up and down and back and forth and it's Dream World.
Mm-hmm. Where she and
Yay!
where she and Jacob are running all around the damn dream world before she finally catches up to him.
Realizing that Freddy has been hiding within her every time she fell asleep.
Oh, you're just now figuring that shit out?
Yeah. She draws Freddy out from within her body. In probably one of the weirdest scenes
It's
in the franchise.
It's reminiscent of 2 when Freddy comes out of
For
Jesse.
sure, at least, but that's just the arm.
Right.
This is
No,
literally
he comes
oh
completely
yeah,
out of him.
that's true. He does come completely out of him. But this is like double-bodied. Like their chests are connected. In fact, his face comes out of her face.
It's reminiscent of, and it hadn't been done at the time that this film was made, but it's reminiscent of like Evil Ash and Ash. And
yeah, for sure.
Darkness.
Mm-hmm. Weird. Another weird little crossover.
Right, the horror world. Everything is intersected.
Everything's connected.
Yvonne finds Amanda's remains, finally, behind a bricked up wall in the highest fucking tower.
Because they were hiding her there. Or something.
Who hit her?
I don't fucking know. Don't ask me these questions. I don't know. Nobody knows.
No.
She beats me.
Say that. I ain't trying to get canceled.
Totally kidding.
Anyway, Alice finds Amanda's fucking...
I threw her off, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Well,
Alright, guys.
This is what I get for going off script. But no, seriously, it's bricked up, and her remains are inside the highest bell tower of the asylum. Yeah. Who fucking bricked it up?
Freddy?
But you think?
In real life?
You think he went to the asylum, saw his mom's remains, and bricked it up, and nobody fucking checked on it later? Sure. Sorry, logic. Anyway, she finds Amanda's remains, and Amanda finally joins the fight because her...
Well, Yvonne touches her, and then she disintegrates.
She disintegrates. She looks back and... Thank you.
Thanks, you. Okay.
It was one of... This is probably one of the more weirder scenes for me.
Yeah.
Because, the way it does, and it's I don't know, it's superimposed over the skull's face, and then the skeleton remains just drop. But yeah,
They were trying something.
Amanda joins the fight and encourages Jacob to use his power to stop Freddy. The power that Freddy has been giving him.
To him. Yeah, because apparently he's been feeding the souls of the people that he's killed to Jacob.
We're also treated to one of the worst line fucking deliveries from a child actor ever.
Let's go. I want to learn stuff from you. She's no fun anymore. Teach me.
I mean, okay, child actors, whatever. That was terrible.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think part of it was that he was trying to put on the Freddy's voice.
Well, I mean, they put facial prosthetics and stuff on him and everything.
Jacob destroys Freddy by pretending to be him and telling him that he wants to be like him, which draws Freddy away from Alice. Like, they separated their bodies out. Freddy came out of Alice. But then he attacks him with his tongue shooting out of him. I don't know. Freddy gets
I stopped paying attention a half hour ago.
This is fucking shit. This shit gets weird.
All this draws all the spirits of the people he killed out of his body, which rips him apart.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like they did in the last one. And leaves behind that weird Freddy baby thing, which Amanda picks up and absorbs it into her spirit body.
I guess.
What?
And then she walks away like it's killing her. So, I don't know. But at the same time, Alice picks up Jacob, who is now a baby, and absorbs him back into her belly. Where he belongs?
Okay. Several months later, Jacob Daniel Johnson is enjoying a picnic with his mother, grandfather, and Yvonne. Yes. They all
Yvonne
live.
survived.
Right, the black girl lived.
Yeah. Well, it's not the first time in this franchise that a black guy lived. I mean, he only survived for one.
Yeah, he was killed off in the first 10 minutes of the next one.
Yeah,
right?
but either way. And some children jumping rope nearby are humming Freddy's tune, of course, hinting to us that Freddy is not gone.
Yeah, thanks, Bob Shea. And that, ladies and germs, is the end of the Dream trilogy and this chapter of Freddy Krueger.
For now. Because, you know, he's not gone.
Well, there's at least...
He's a dream demon. He can't go away.
There's at least 2 more films in the initial release, the initial run of Freddy, plus the crossover with Jason.
Yeah.
So,
which even the last one is, I consider not part of the... it's the first 6, and then it's New Nightmare is its own thing. Yeah. I really think the New Nightmare is its own thing.
Yeah, no,
because it's a totally different Freddy. It takes place in...
And we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will.
We'll get to that when we cover it, but yeah, I kind of agree with you.
I think it's the first 6, and then there's New Nightmare, and then there's everything after New Nightmare.
Which is the crossover and the remake.
Yeah.
And him appearing on Goldberg's.
Yeah. Oh, God. I freaking love Goldberg's. Anyways, okay. So, what are your thoughts? Bloody machete up or down, Hallie?
It's hot poop.
You can say shit. I'm gonna.
I like saying hot poop because of HP computers.
No.
Hot poop.
Sense. Yeah, it's a bloody machete down for me. This movie fucking sucks.
Wait,
there's...
Yeah, there we go.
There's a lot of good things in this franchise. There's some cool things in this movie.
There are some cool things, but yeah, mainly this is just messy. It's convoluted in a sense that
I think they were trying to come up with like an ending to this whole dream master, dream.
Like we've been calling it Dream Trilogy.
Dream Trilogy. Yeah, for sure. I think they were trying to come up with some kind of ending to that. Mm-hmm. I don't think it worked.
Obviously it didn't work because Freddy comes back and they don't even explain how the fuck he comes back in the next one.
Nope. I mean, it doesn't even matter. Nope. In the 5th or in the 4th one, he came back as a flaming dog piss. I just can't get over that whole flaming dog piss thing. Get that shit out of here. Let a dog go flaming pee on it or something.
No, that's my copy.
Oh, okay.
You can pee on your copy.
No, I don't want to do that. My copy.
Do you even have a
Well,
copy?
yeah, I do. You know where it's at? You can go right ahead and pee on it.
Yeah, okay.
Go right ahead. Anyways, you want to do another shitty movie?
I don't know if it's shitty, but it's definitely weird. $2025, year of sequels, y'all. Leatherface. The first Leatherface.
Yes,
Texas
because
Chainsaw
there is
Massacre
another one
3.
in the franchise called Leatherface.
Right.
But this one's Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Which
Full title.
we'll get into it when we break it down next week, because I have thoughts that I need to discuss with you.
I've got lots of thoughts about this movie.
Anyway, be sure to go check that out. And come back here.
Make sure you watch this, because for me,
it had been a long time
it had
since
been a
I've seen.
very long time, because I will randomly put on one or two.
Right.
Anytime, any day of the week. And
I'll even watch the newer one.
so that's what I was going to say. The newer ones, I rewatched somewhat recently. And so they're sort of fresh in my brain, at least. I hadn't watched this, I'm not kidding you,
20 years.
High school.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been 20. When I bought this was the last time I watched it, because it whatever.
High school, which I graduated in 2002, so that's 23 years ago, you guys.
But yeah, so watch this, come back here in a week's time, and until then, make sure you slash that subscribe button,
stab the like button,
and ringling that grave bell so you don't get lost in the mix and can stay up to date with everything we are doing on this platform. Till then, y'all,
we will see you all
in the afterlife.